Hi, this is Fran with Stampendous, and I'm continuing my fabulous Friday fun with watercolor video number 119. Today we will be featuring another page from our July catalog, the Leafy Holiday. This clear set will be used throughout this lesson, and we've got lots of fun to show you. I'm going to prep my palette by spritzing everything just to revive the colors that have dried previously. In this area, to create my cool colors, I've got my cool primaries, and I'm going to swirl color around until I get a nice gray-black. Since a lot of the time this area is out of view, I'm going to bring some of this color down into this area of my palette. So if I want to take any color like blue or gray and mute it to a more neutral color, then I will have some of this black gray in view for us. And I'll explain here at the beginning as well, all of my greens are mixed from combination of yellow and each of the blues. So I have yellow with the phthalo blue or yellow with marine, and I'm going to pre-mix a whole range of different colors of greens. And then as we proceed painting, I won't need to explain it further, and we'll do some more fast forward painting. Now yellow with the marine is going to give me the olive greens. I'm going to start with a light green and keep adding more of the blue for deeper shades of olive green. This is the quinacridone rose for all my reds. And I'll make sure I have some of the scarlet as well. If I want some deeper reds, I'll use red, the same quinacridone rose with some of the blue here for a burgundy magenta. We're going to use our VersaFine black ink, and I've got the clear stamp on the handle. I've cut some small panels that are 2 3/4 by 3, and we'll stamp each of these images by themselves to do a small vignette to start with. So I want to show you how, if you want to do quick Christmas cards, just painting one of these little panels and being able to place it like that on a card is going to work really well. So we're just going to fast forward this so that you can kind of see the process and watch it happen really fast. So your very small little watercolors, you can trim or tear the edges, set them off with some nice other color paper, and you can see how interesting just printed papers will be. On this one, I took the message stamp, and you might practice it on scrap paper to kind of create the prettiest pattern, and that will just set off your watercolor beautifully. And on this one, I used the pine to stamp in black, and then just using one shade of green with a rather dry brush, I was able to go past the lines and create some wispy greenery, and even some little dots just adds to the fun of it. And you can see how that will set off a card as well. So you could take your large sheet of watercolor paper and create a little 3 by 2 3/4 and get 8 or a dozen out of a full sheet if you wanted to do the quick approach. Next, we're going to paint some taped edge vignettes, and I'm using the grid to line everything up. I've got my inexpensive tape. I kind of release some of the excess tackiness, and then I can press down all the edges to keep that nice white edge, and we'll fast forward some stamping here. And I've cut out some sticky note masks like we've done before, and since I want the rose in the foreground, we'll start there, and we'll just speed along here. On this one, I did this one in more Christmassy colors, but of course you can do a beautiful similar version just with the roses for an everyday card. And here I thought I would challenge myself to do the beautiful striping that you see on some roses. So I will just start in painting these, and I may change the backgrounds a little bit from what you see here. This one I used the phthalo blue with some of the gray to tone it back. And this one I had some of the blues, and I think I'll do more of a light green on that one. So we'll keep those in view, and we'll fast forward the painting. Notice that all of my brush strokes are following the petals, the direction of the petals. And then to get that fine detail, I need to let that layer dry. My brush needs to be quite dry and have vivid pigment to be able to keep this kind of detail in the striping. I've studied these striped roses, and there's no rhyme or reason to the patterning. It's quite irregular. Sometimes there's large areas and small areas of the more vivid color. make sure your reds are dry. And I was thinking here that I maybe was going to regret not having painted the background first. But as long as, that might have been easier, but as long as the reds are dry, I can work around it. So with this one, I intentionally started out with my deepest color at the bottom edge and then sort of let it fade as I worked my way up. With this one, I'm going to do more of a minty green background. So I'm going to add some water. Now with some more gray, this shadowing will make it look a little bit more like this, a still life here with some of this sitting on a table. With a drier brush, I'm going to come back in with some dark green and just feather the look of those pine needles a little bit more. So I would definitely suggest that you do your backgrounds first and then the greens and the reds last. It makes a lot of things easier, and you don't want to run a wet brush over that red, the red berries, even after they've dried. But I made it work this way too. So you can finish off this watercolor in a lot of different ways with printed papers or our simple backgrounds. So I've pre-mixed some more of the colors like I did before, including some gray down here, and we'll just fast forward making this fun A2 size card. Stamping the message first allows you to make sure you fitted that into the space. And I didn't do any masking on this one, just to show how we're going to pull it all together with the background colors. And on this one, we did more of the blue grays, and we'll try some greens. And this time we'll definitely paint the backgrounds first. So I hope you're having fun with Christmas in July and enjoy some watercolor paintings. Here's a gallery of finished cards.